Vinny Oshana,
Yes, sir.
welcome to the Alchemist Lounge.
We're here.
We are here.
We
We're
did
actually in the Valuetainment Lounge, but we're going
Well, actually, it's our live studio stage, live event, comedy club. There's a bar. There's a cigar lounge in the back.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what this used to be?
No.
Life Extensions, like a vitamin place. I remember when there used to be an island right here, like poles and
Now, that makes sense.
do you feel it vitamin-y?
Well, kind of. Somebody told me it was a GNC, and I was like, there's no way a GNC is going to be this big and put together.
No, and it was so obviously the Life Extension is more older. I remember when we first got here, it's still like didn't look anything like this. And we're in here shooting a sketch, and all you hear is a knock on the door, and you open it. Some old 90-year-old guy is like, "Where are the vitamins?" And we're like, "Sorry, Grandpa, go to GNC." You know what I mean? Like we're trying to make history here.
Yeah. Well, this is a real deal soundstage.
Yeah.
And so you guys were shooting sketches here?
So we're
before
shooting.
this?
Yeah. So when it was nothing, it was just sketch. Like when we first started, sketches are doing construction. We've set up some offices in the back, but then
Yeah.
I was the comedy department. I technically kind of still am, right? I'm the funny side of it. Yeah. So we're just shooting everything. So I utilized certain rooms and offices, and it looked it was perfect for like a acting set, like a Hollywood
Yeah.
set. But now it's changing. There's more people, but still, I still take advantage of everybody and use everybody for sketches. And just yesterday, we shot. Neuralink apparently is having its first problem with its first patient, so we shot a sketch with Delhi, but we shot it in the other building, crashing into the wall, rebooting him. It's just that's the thing. But when there's no Kelly's works here. She's an actress. Nobody else here is an actual actor. She's a singer as well. I just poach. I grab. I get them in trouble because HR is like, hey. This guy has a freaking. He's editing. I go. I know, but I need the guy that looks like a creep. I just grab Alex. I just grab him like I need a guy that looks like a creep. Deli, I love you. He's perverted, and so. But yeah.
So you're the comedy department.
I'm the comedy department.
So how did that come together for you to be the comedy department?
From the beginning, you want to? I'll tell you briefly.
Yeah. Let's go back.
So Alex, I'm in Los Angeles. I'm doing the stand-up comedy. Left the military. I'm Hollywood. My dream. Left everything.
What year was this?
I was wow. So I was in during 9/11. Stop loss happened, which is the government, George Bush saying we can't afford to lose any troops. You're stuck. Even if you're retiring, imagine going, my 20 years, I'm retiring. They go, no, legally you can't go anywhere. So got a pretty bad taste in my mouth, but we could go there. So stayed in another year. I want to say 2002. And I'll never forget that stop loss ended. And I'm sitting at my desk, and a master sergeant and a full bird colonel come to my desk. Contract. Oshana, what's up? Air Force, 6 years, $60,000 bonus. Let's do it. I'm telling you, God's my witness. I didn't even think. I just went, no, I'm not going to do it. I go. I got nervous, nauseous. I go, I'm going to chase my dream. I'm going to be He's like, what are you talking about? Like, well, you're going to comedy? What? They turned on me. I was under investigation. The military eats their own, bro. They were like, he's smoking marijuana. He's doing this. And I was like, you sons of God. I go, all that I've done. I was Airman of the Year. I was freaking Air Force, on a shooting competition team. And I was just I went through the ranks as fast as you could, Al. And I kicked ass. And then now I want to go and do what I want to do now. And you guys are going to really, really bad taste in my mouth on top of other things. But yeah, that was it. And then I'm out, Alex, and I'm in California. I'm doing my thing for years, ups and downs, and Hollywood just, not my favorite place. And towards the end, after pandemic, I'm just scrolling on my phone. My cousin's at Ray-Ban buying sunglasses, and I see Patrick's face, the word David, and I'm like, wait a minute. That face, David's normally a Jewish name.
Yeah.
I go, my cousin's last name is David. I go, clicked on it. I went down the Patrick rabbit hole, and I see a Syrian flag. I go, holy shit. Patrick, Vincent Oshana, I see that you're in Los Angeles. He was doing a talk. I go, come to my show at the Laugh Factory. It's sold out. Within 2 minutes, responds and go, hey, you're hilarious. I know that you work with Kevin Hart. Give me your number. I'm going to call you tomorrow at noon. Noon, phone call, half an hour talk, tells me about Valuetainment. Done. So I got rid of everything and I came here, and it's been 2 years. May 8th was my 2-year mark 2 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I've actually been thinking about the evolution of comedy over the last, 15 years.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a viable career now, and at least the way it sounds, and what I'm starting to see is that there's such a demand for content now. There's such a demand for different views, different perspectives, people that can come out there and start to tell stories. And you do that in spades, but you do it with politics.
Yes.
Which is interesting. So when you're at the Laugh Factory, and I've taken a look at some of your work, and it's hilarious.
Thank you.
And I'd love to talk a little bit about
whatever
some of
you
your
want.
sketches.
Yeah.
But when you were at the Laugh Factory, obviously you had made it to a certain point at that stage in your career in comedy.
Yeah. To get to the Laugh Factory, I mean, bro, people don't realize you got to put in the work. You can't just, unless your father is a huge producer, which they were there, and you just get past and you're in the work of busting your butt, putting in the work, doing open mics. And, bro, people don't realize open mics are the most brutal thing, but they're the most necessary thing. You have to go up there and you have to eat shit. Sorry for my language. You have to sell something that you think is going to sell. Nobody wants to buy it, and you're just up there dying. Like, you felt sweat going down your back, and you're like, this is And listen, I've had people, I've been around guns and people pulling out knives and fear and shootings and drive-bys and nothing like that moment of, oh shit, this didn't work and now I'm just stuck here. It's so scary, but to change it and twist it around, it's a huge challenge. But with the Laugh Factory, I was starting to do the rounds. I was at the Ha Ha Comedy Club in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
Jack Asadorian and Terry Asadorian own it. Armenian, Mexican. She's a firecracker. He's amazing.
Yeah.
And their son Jack Jr. That was because it was right near the first place that I lived. That I moved with my cousin Mike. Every day, stand up, eating crap. Build up my chops, and then one of the Wayans' nieces, Shantae Wayans, sees me and she goes, "Hey, I don't know who she is. This is 3 months out of the military. Hey, Vinny, I'm Shantae. How you doing?" Doesn't say her last name. My uncle's doing a show. Do you have a cassette? Do you have a CD of you performing? I was like, I don't.
A CD.
I'm officially old as shit. She goes, do you have a CD? I go, no, but I'll get you one. So they record the club, VHS. I took it. I had to pay $200 to get that and some place on Ventura Boulevard to put into a CD. I gave it to her, gave my phone number. 2 weeks later, phone call, hey, we have an audition here. Come to this audition. I go in 10 minutes from the club. It's The Misters. It was a gay sitcom spoof. Me and this guy, a kid named Shane, who does stand-up comedy that knows the family as well. So we're just like on stage. It's like, on stage acting this out. As I'm walking into the room, I'll never forget, Al, I see huge yellow alligator shoes as I'm walking in and a big yellow suit. And I look and I'm like, it's Damon Wayans. And I'm like, oh,
wow.
Holy my first
audition.
Back then, first audition.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and I'm standing up there, and he's like, so, okay, you guys have the script. I already memorized it.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, just go in if you want to improvise. We did it. He's dying laughing, and I get cast on the show, The Underground on Showtime. Mikey Day was on it.
Yeah.
Edie Patterson, Ari Spears. Dude, it was God. And I'll never forget the day. I was in my apartment. God's my witness. He'll know if I'm lying. Strike me dead if I'm not. I'm reading the Bible. And I swear to God, I was praying and God, please, 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 please. I close the Bible and the phone rings. I swear on everything that means anything to me. And I start crying. She's like, I'm like, hello? I didn't know the number yet. I didn't start crying right off the bat. She goes, is this Vincent Oshana? I go, yeah. Who's this? She goes, this is Jennifer, Julie, whatever. She goes, how does it feel? And I was like, I'm sorry? She goes, how does it feel being a cast member now on the Showtime show? And I was like, crying, hung up, called my mom. Everything's happening, even though, my mom's like, Middle Eastern. Vinny, don't crying. Don't go to Hollywood. There's nothing but drugs and gays. And guess what? She was right.
Yeah,
it's just gay guys and cocaine just flying everywhere. But so, dude, that was it. But then now, even though I'm on this show on Showtime, she was totally right. Everybody who's watching this knows. She and the Laugh Factory, it's still hard to get in. Jamie Masada's the owner. He sits there. They have their own little open mic passing situation. I want to get in on Chocolate Sundays, which is Pookie Wigington, who's he works with Kevin Hart. Like, I think he's like his business manager.
Yeah.
You do something. You have to wait 6 months to get on something called Fresh Faces. 3-minute set up. If the audience likes you, you have to wait another year or whatever. You have to build up to become a regular. I'll never forget this. I'm upstairs, packed. It's one of the best rooms in LA. It's like a little small theater. It's packed. I'm drooling to go on stage. Pookie's running around. He's looking for somebody that's not there to perform. I grab him. I go, Pookie. He's like, what's up? I go, if you let me open the show, cold open, for 3 minutes, if I don't murder, if I don't kill, you could punch me in the face. Al, I'm not joking. He went like this. He looked at me and he goes, okay. And he wasn't funny. He's like, I'm going to punch you in your face if you don't murder. He goes, shake, boom. Ladies and gentlemen, no cold open, no nothing. The DJ, it's by the way, it's Chocolate Sundays. It's the majority's minorities, and there's like 3 white people, and they work there. Ladies and gentlemen, shut off your phones. Blah blah. Put your hands together for Vincent Oshana. Alex, it was like I was in a zone for 3 minutes. I just didn't let them breathe. Everything was timing and all the work, all the struggle. Wow. The dude killed it. And right there, I was like, this is it. I picked the right. I murdered. And he goes on stage and he goes, all right, everybody, time out. They're standing ovation for 3 minutes. And he goes, all right, guys, this is the process. Normally, he's holding me. He doesn't know me. This is the process. You do this 6 months, 2 years, 3 years. He goes, guess what? This guy's skipping all of it. I'm making him a regular right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was it.
You must have had some material that you
Oh, my God. It was personal. It was military. It was in 3 minutes, Al, you guys could already tell I'm talking fast. I didn't let them finish their laugh because I'm like, bitch, I got 3 minutes. And I'd say that, Alex. I'd be like, don't. I'm like, shut up, next. Because I wanted to get, I don't want to do just one joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about your process. Like, especially at that time when you just had to be ready to go if that opportunity presented itself.
Exactly. And I'm sorry for getting emotional. Like,
it
hit me that
it.
moment was like because of that, he's Kevin Hart's guy. That's how I got to work with Kevin Hart, because he was like, dude, this is the guy. And I was on the special with Kevin Hart called The Next Level. But the process, bro, especially at that time, Al, I just got up every single day. It was like a drug. It was like I needed to go, because that awkward feeling that I was telling you about, now I cherished it. Now I'm like, even if I get to where they hate me, I'm going to come out of it. Like Damon Wayans Sr. used to tell me when his earlier days, he would go up and do a rape joke and just take the whole open with it. And the crowd would hate him. And he would like to build them back up to love him at the end. Think about that. He liked that fight. Think about, because Al, if you think about it, comedy, comedy, when somebody says this guy has a sense of humor, people just throw that around. How many? There's 5 senses, hearing, touch, smell, feel, taste, all that.
Yeah.
Sense of humor isn't on that list, but why do people say a sense of humor?
It's spiritual.
It's you exactly. You touch something, because that language of comedy can transcend people that don't speak English. If you act out Charlie Chaplin, they get it. They get it, and that connection, I think, brings something crazy, because you take the audience away from their everyday life. And I don't want to, oh my God, I feel like a woman right now. When I first got out, I got booked out of the military, 1 month of doing what I was telling you. Yeah. Latin Kings of Comedy. Chichi, get the yayo.
They thought you were Latin?
No, everybody thought I was, dude, I'm ethnically ambiguous, because now.
Even Oshana sounds Italian.
Oshana sounds Italian. Irish people are like, Oshana, they put an apostrophe. I'm Middle Eastern 1 week. And then, Italians get pissed off. When I go, no, I'm a Syrian, they go, what the fuck, what'd you say? I'm like, they're like, we thought you were one of us. Like, my mom made lasagna. I'm like, keep the lasagna. But, so I'm just fresh out of the military. They have this show, the Latin Kings of Comedy, and the guy's like, I'll hook you up. The guy, Chichi, get the yo-yo from Scarface, he's the main guy. Angel Salazar.
The Chichi get the yo-yo.
Chichi get the yayo, the drug, he's a stand-up comedian. He wears a G-string on stage. He's crazy.
Oh, shit.
So I'm on this show. It's at somewhere in Connecticut, and I go up, and think about it. I've never done this type of audience, 1,500 people, which is way easier than doing a room of 20 or 30. Trust me. 20 or 30, they're listening to every 1,500. 2 of them laugh. It spreads like a wave. So I perform. This is my point I'm getting to, is if I made the right decision, because I just got out. My mom was nervous. She's like, drugs, gays. So she comes to the show, and it's one of those just home run hits. And I'll never forget, I'm walking through the crowd just to get a I'm like, holy shit, like, this is probably not going to see this for a while. And my shirt, I had a suit jacket. I had a white jacket and a white Yankees hat backwards. I have a photo. It's hilarious. I thought it was Mr. Hip Hop. A lady in a wheelchair grabs me, Alan. She goes, oh my. are you the guy? And I was like, yeah. She goes, I want you to, this goes to my point about what I was telling you about. She goes, while you were up there, she goes, you made me forget that I was in this chair. And I was like, oh.
Wow.
You want to talk about, I'm crying with her, like hug, like comedy show, we're sitting there. She's like, don't cry, it's okay. And I go to tell my mom's freaking emotional. I go, Mom, I think I picked the right field.
Well, in a way, it's magic that you're playing with here, because I've heard in the past, teachers have said that laughing and crying are actually a spiritual way to bubble up. It's something that is, they actually have a laughing meditation. When you laugh, people come together.
Yes.
It actually raises all sorts of your endorphins, your serotonins. If you want to think about times that you've been so sad that you've laughed, that physically has an impact on you.
Mm-hmm.
And so there you are in the lab, in other words, in front of 20 people or 1,500 people, playing with that, and starting to be in a space that you know how to create alchemy out of that.
Exactly. It's mind-boggling to take a step back and think of it like how you said it, that you're giving, like, have you been to a comedy show?
Of course.
Okay. Do you put yourself in that moment when the comedian is killing, Alex, when they're really murdering? Are you thinking about anything in your life? Are you stressing?
No.
Are you worried if somebody's sick, if you're going through your ailment? Everything's gone. Am I right?
Yeah, well, that's why you're there.
Exactly.
You're there to be transported. So you're transporting
exactly
in that moment.
Yep.
So Judah Friedlander, who is a comedian,
long hair, glasses. Yeah, I love him. He's an actor too.
Yeah, he's an actor
cool
too.
guy. Like, he's like the stoner guy.
Yeah, exactly. So
he's the mums guy. The mums in Meet the Fuckers. He's like, you want some more mums? Because we got more.
Exactly.
Mums. Yeah.
So I went to his show and we hung out for a long time. We went and got a drink for a long time afterwards, and he was the most introverted person. And so there was a small comedy club called the Townhouse in Washington, D.C., where I grew up. It was literally a townhouse, and you'd go into the basement.
Oh wow, I like that shit. I like that though.
And people would come and test their material, like DC comedians.
Beautiful.
And there'd be 16, 15-year-old kids coming in with backpacks and throwing shit out there.
I love it.
And so that's when I started to learn, man, this is very cool. This is a culture. Mm-hmm. This is an art form that is steeped in communication in ways that we don't even get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, big time.
So I totally get where you're coming from because here you are in the military, right? Which is the most structured, formal path to get somewhere. In other words, if you obviously you have to have talent in whatever it is that you're doing.
Yes.
But they give you a path exactly how to get from A to B to C to D to E.
Set in stone. Oh yeah.
Set in stone.
Yeah, it's promotion. It's under the you could get promoted up to this time.
Yep.
There's like early promotion, there's testing, but at the end of the day, it's all the same.
That's right. But you're missing out on the magic when you're there. But did you know that? Like at the time when you said, look, I got a $60,000 bonus.
Right in front of my face.
I'm assuming you weren't like wealthy. Maybe it came from a ton of money or something.
No, hell no, bro.
Right?
My family was no.
So 10 out of 10 people, 9.75 out of 10 people
take the money and run. Yeah.
Right. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and I'm going to do some stand up. I like doing it. I want to make people laugh. But guess what? I'm going to take the safe path.
Yeah. No.
And you had no path.
I had zero, bro. I fell through the crack. Alex,
that's pretty crazy, dude.
It's and that's why I tell people just your life, just the you have to enjoy and take those because I'm a firm believer in God. I go to church. I always was. Syrians were the first Christians to accept. Like we're the first people to be like, okay, that's Jesus Christ as a whole. It was the Syrians. And I firmly believe that God, I don't believe this. I don't believe, they go, God has the plan and you have to, no. God knows everything. Omnipresent, beginning and end. Yeah. But he lays it out. You have to figure it out. When those doors open, you have to have you have to have the faith and the belief in yourself and in God, though. Even if you jump through and you fail, Al, you're going to be okay. And when I say this, even if you fall hard at the end of this train of life, I call it the train of like this. We're all on this train and it's going to end. While we're on it, have fun, take risks, go to the front of the train, go to the back, have fun, meet people, because at the end of it, me and you, everybody in this building, we all have the same fate. We're going to die. That's the number one fear is, oh my God, I'm going to die. And once you don't care about that, you live in the moment and you take those risks. And I took it and I didn't think, but in that moment, something said, I really believe it was God, get out. Because you know why I joined I joined because in the military, I was on the high honor roll.
Yeah.
No guidance. My father drank. The lack of discipline from my dad. My dad was just an angry, fix your room. Like, okay, we were scared of him. The 6
Old
words.
school.
Yeah. Wait until your dad gets home. That was like the biggest fear, right? But my mom was just all love. But I never met my guidance counselor in high school, so I fell through the cracks. So when it was done, my high school was over. I was just like, what to do. And my father was like, you guys, you're going to get the hell out of the house. Like, you're not going to sit here and not do anything. I had no college plans, no nothing. So the military is more of a like, okay, I'll just do it. I joined with my one of my best friends, Jamal.
Yeah.
So then once I was in, I'm just like, okay, I'm in. But then if you saw our family get-togethers, our vacations, I was a one-man show. My father would drink, no TV on, no nothing. He'd have like 5 friends in the living room. I'm not even joking, Alex. He'd be like, Vinny, Talacha, come here. Go and just perform in front of everybody. Perform like no material, just talk crap about people. Put on like we had these big pants. I put my knees in them and shoes at the end. Alex, I'd have these grown drunk men crying, laughing, and like my landlord, her name was Anna. She was a Polish lady. She's like, she made me sign a contract when I was 10 years old. I'm not in crayon. She goes, I want to be his manager when he gets older. And I was like, okay, as a kid. She still has his contract with me with crayon. I'm not even joking. And she was like, he has something. She's like, he's a freaking child and he's making everybody die laughing. She's like, those piano little Asians that are 3 and you're like, what, is he an alien? I was that guy with comedy. I was a prodigy comedy, but again, no drama classes, no comedy classes, no. My father was drunk. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So I just did it all by myself, and then look where I am now.
Well, wow. Well, when you were at the Laugh Factory, and actually no, it was the Latin King. It was the
Kings of Comedy.
So when you were there, and you had your really what they call your big break, right? Like that hit.
That made. Well, I didn't get anything from that. That was my first that gave me chops. Oh, for me, big time. That made me go, that feeling of like a roar from 1500. Like I didn't belong there. Meaning, I'm not Latin. I'm just new to the freaking game, and I'm up there with Cheech, and I got off stage, and he was like, shook my hand hard. He's like, who are you, bro? Where'd you come from? But I did the work. I did the writing, the premise, the what if. Like comedy, it's not as easy as people,
How often are you in flow state now? Like now that you've met, well, in a way, you have more than 10 years in. So you've mastered this. But how often do you find yourself in flow state? Do you know what I mean by flow state?
What do you mean by flow state?
By flow state, I mean you are in the moment. You are so confident in what it is that you're doing or that you're a part of that now it's just a matter of being creative in the moment, being able to really just have strength and foundation in what you do. Like if you think about it, flow state is if you watch basketball, right? If sometimes you'll be in a game and you'll just see particular players just throwing up threes like it's unbelievable. It's like the ocean. It's like they can't miss.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And you have the same thing happening, and I've seen it in comedy. I mean, I've seen people be up there and suddenly it's just, of course it's material they've written, but sometimes it's
freestyle.
It's freestyle.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, there's flow state in action right now because he's in the moment.
Yep.
He's making it happen. He's creating right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my question. How often do you find yourself there now?
Now it happens now because I just signed with an agent from CAA a little while ago. So I'm getting up a lot more because think about it. Once I left Los Angeles, there's no comedy club anywhere close to here. The closest one is Dania Beach, which is 20 minutes away, but it's not like a hole in the wall. It's these are the improvs, and the other one's Miami. You know what I mean? So it's like few and far between. But I think now that I built that confidence of like I belong here and I'm funny enough. I just did a show that we sold out in Miami Improv.
Yeah.
A lot of PBD people. Patrick was there. His father was there. Kelly. The whole Valuetainment crew was there. But we packed it out like 300, like almost 50 people. And the flow state, from the moment I went up, it was just, I had it. Anybody messed up or I was talking to HR was in there. It's like I have all that struggling of those small rooms, those big rooms now. It's just, it's almost like you can't fail. It's weird. But it happens way more than not.
Yeah. Well, for those that are listening, I mean, this is inspirational stuff because when you go into a zone where you feel challenged, where you feel like behind it, there's just so much fear and what's the unknown. Vinny, this is what is after that is the ability to be able to channel flow state in a space where the fear just doesn't show up. You have this like really strong foundation, right? And it's so interesting, man. First, I want to talk about your year sober because
May 31st, which is Kelly's birthday.
That's right.
She's in the audience. Oh, there's one audience. It's just Kelly. Yeah, it's my 1 year is coming up May 31st, and I'm never going back. I already know it. But go ahead.
Congratulations,
thank you, bro.
Man.
Thank you.
See, so I'm assuming there's a story there because your mom said, all right, if you go there, it's the drugs.
Drugs and gays. Drugs and gays.
Yes, and with Middle Eastern people, for some reason, they think that you could maybe turn gay or it's odd.
Yeah,
and it might be something in the culture, but for some reason, they feel like you're a little like there's a little bit of move of like
flexibility,
like malleability when it comes to your
sexuality.
Sexuality. Like
it's like no, mom, you got it or you don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't think Middle Eastern parents figured that out. But obviously when you got there, right, you saw cocaine flying everywhere.
Yes.
There was a lot of gay activity happening.
A lot of that.
And
I dabbled in the other one, not the gay one.
activity?
Nothing against them. No, yeah. Like, hey, stop. But I do gay way too good. That's actually bothers me.
You
yes,
do. That's
yes,
really
yes, I
good.
do. Just stop.
I'm gonna take a clip of that, send it to your mom.
I love it. Oh, yeah. I told you. Now the drugs. No, but yeah. I love that word.
I know, me too.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah. Anyway, so you were there, right?
Yeah.
You see the cocaine, so you dabbled in that. You know, who hasn't?
Yeah. Drank a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it must have gotten to a point where you felt like the sobriety was something that was just like how did it happen to where you decided that was it?
Well, because mind you though, it didn't happen until I got here.
Yeah, that's what it was a year.
So wow, it was just. This is the thing. Okay, so alcoholism. I want people to realize when you hear alcoholic, I think a lot of people automatically go to just the wine. No. There's different forms of alcoholism. There's the guy that has to wake up and just drink. My father.
Yeah.
Two Miller High Lifes. My mom would pack him in a brown paper bag for him to go to work. He worked at Northeast Utilities, electrical engineer. Yeah. To go to work, no breakfast, and then he'd come home and just drink vodka and Coke. In hindsight, I'm like, what were we witnessing? But as a kid, that's just it was a program. Dad's drinking to go to work doesn't mean just to function. Then there's the social, the person that's out, but they have to do it all the time. Like once if they're going out, they're having a drink. They have to have a glass of wine. I need a glass of wine to go to sleep. You're still an alcoholic. Mine was almost Thursday, Friday, at the comedy club. But my alcoholism was like I can't just have one. It wasn't like it boggled. People would be look at me, people with control, and they'd be like, why can't you just have one shot? And I'm like, because I'm an alcoholic. I go, do you know my father? You have no idea who you're talking to. So, and then this is the alcoholic that I was. I would take 6 months sobriety, 6-month mark. Yeah, guess what my celebration was for the 6-month mark?
What's that?
Getting shit-faced. Does that, if that isn't proof that this poison messes up your brain, that was my celebratory, normally people they gift themselves things. That was my thing, was getting shit-faced. And then the cycle started again. So I was hungover. Friday, I would drink on the celebration. Sunday, I'm just coming out of it. I drink just to feel better. And then I'm like, okay, I won't drink till Friday. It's a vicious cycle, bro. It's horrible. So this 1 year, I saw myself in a mirror, and then I saw myself in the PBD podcast, and I go, wait a minute, that's not me. It was disgusting. I didn't tell
a year ago.
A year ago, I saw myself, and I'm like, no. I looked like shit. I felt like shit. I saw myself in the mirror, Alan. I just felt kind of mushy. Like right now, I'm working out every single day.
Yeah.
I just felt like shit. Like literally felt like shit, and I was like, I can't do this. And it was just a click. I've been. You know how many AA meetings I've been to?
How many?
1. And I walked in and I go, okay, I get it.
And that was
Swear to God, I went, okay, I get it. But and a lot of people, like I said, if you don't have a good support group, bro. By the way, my mom doesn't know. My mom knows I drank. She doesn't know that I had a problem. My sister didn't know. But nobody knew. I knew. God, you know that voice in your head that people talk about, Al?
Yeah.
That's not your voice. That's God. That's God going, what are you doing? You don't need to do this. Stop. What are you doing? And I finally got it, bro. Thank God that I listened.
Did anything take its place? Are you seeing yourself moving into exercise? Are you doing healthier things to replace it?
1,000%. Funny thing. Oh yeah, exercise for sure.
Yeah.
I did notice though, Al, that the sugar. I hated dessert. I've always hated dessert. Now that sugar is gone from the alcohol, which I never. Now I'm I see Yeah, see that? Now I'm seeing desserts, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like they're like, yeah. Now I'm like, excuse me, is there dessert on the menu? Come back. And she's like, okay, like tres leche. Yeah. So it's yeah.
Yeah, you're getting your taste buds back.
I'm getting the taste bugs. So, but still, I'll eat like a little bit. I won't overindulge. Everything. I think everything has to be in moderation. With alcohol, with me, I just had to go. I cut it off completely, and I don't miss it. Like now, when I see or I smell like Jack and Coke, and I'm like, ugh.
Zero, no alcohol.
Zero alcohol, none.
No weed.
Nope.
No weed. Nothing. Completely clean. Not California sober.
Zero. Nothing. Absolutely not. Zero.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, it's taken this long, Al, for me to just start having happy feelings and moments. This is weird. I'm having moments of just joyful, like, and I'm like, nothing happened, but I'm like, oh, that's what the natural high.
Like when you were a kid.
Exactly that.
I get it. Yeah.
Exactly that.
So when I quit smoking weed, it was the same. It was hard, but suddenly when you're a kid, you find joy for no reason at all.
Yeah. Yay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you lose that as an adult.
Exactly.
You do. And so you want to get back to that. And a lot of the times you get it through alcohol, cocaine, sex.
Yep. Big time.
All that.
You get addicted. Yeah.
You get addicted.
Yep.
But when you can find your way back to that, man, you don't ever want to lose that.
Never. And once you, and how long sober for the weed?
1 year and 2 months.
Perfect.
Yeah.
See, so we're kind of in the same boat. Yeah. And because at the end of the day, somebody told me this that was a heavy cocaine user, but then he's 10 years, I think 11 years sober. He goes, Vinny, your brain, your body has a cup. You have this much serotonin in your body. It's like, this is your happy juice. He goes, you keep cocaine and drinking, you deplete that thing. It starts dripping and dripping. You don't get that back. Everybody's given a certain amount of serotonin.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of these guys that were coke heads and meth heads and alcohol, when they're done and they're like Ozzy Osbourne and all these guys, you've depleted your happy juice, and it's hard to get to rejuvenate that. That's why your liver and stuff, thank God, God made us this way. You can rejuvenate that thing. It'll come back. It'll take a while, but the brain, what alcohol does to your brain, brother, and think about it. Tony Baker, one of my really good friends, a comedian, he always said, he's like, when you turn down drinking, people are like, hey, what you mean you don't want no poison? Hey, man, and they shame you. Hey, Vinny don't want no poison. And I really broke it down on the serious. I'm like, it's legal poison. And it's, and all day, think about this, Alex, all day, my goal is to avoid poisons from water, from the air, from next to cars that are blowing up that shit. I roll my window, from the food that we eat, from the friends, the toxic, I'm going to voluntarily put some shit in me, which I'm already battling what the world is giving me to try to kill me, because I'm a firm believer in this overpopulation fear of the elites. They don't want us around. No. I'm going to help that. No, I want to grow old, but I want to be the old guy that's kind of doing good, where people are like, look at, holy shit, he's 80. I want to be the guy that's, falling apart and suffering at the end. You know what I mean? I
know 100% what you mean. And for you to figure this out now is incredible. You said about the elites, and that's something I want to make sure we cover something, because
whatever you want here.
Because here you are, right? You go from East Coast to West Coast.
Yep.
You're around the gays, the cocaine, the drugs, all of that.
Yeah.
Right? And so suddenly you've teamed up with PBD, Patrick Bet-David, right? Yes. Whose political lean is
he's center right.
Center right.
Yeah.
But you
yourself
can be vocal now about what your politics are. Now, this is something that is very unique, and I personally think it's new in the space. What do I mean by that?
Yeah.
I mean that everything in terms of comedy, in terms of entertainment, and I think this was back in the day too, when we were coming up. We just didn't know it.
Yep.
It's always been very left leaning. It's always been very washed. It's always been sort of that, right?
PCBS.
Yep. It's gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. And my question is, were you politically, was your comedy, did it have the right-leaning politics in it when you were at the Laugh Factory, when you were in LA? When did you start feeling comfortable where you're like, okay, I like where everyone's head is at, right?
Yeah.
I like the conversation that's happening. It's open. I don't have to fucking hide the stuff that I feel now, right?
Yeah.
When did you start to feel that and start to infuse? Because what I love about you on the show is that you infuse comedy and you infuse a Gen X mentality right? Like everything we grew up with, but it's right-leaning. And when you and I were growing up, right-leaning wasn't necessarily where you were leaning. It was like Mitt Romney. I mean, all these guys were like, I don't really relate to them too much, right?
Yeah.
So when did you start to bring that in? And did you feel like PBD podcast, Patrick, and everything there allowed you to be able to be more open and free about that?
So for anybody that's followed my stand-up career, if you want to call it, I never, first of all, growing up, politics, we had no idea. No left, no voting, no left. They loved Reagan, because he was an actor.
And they hated Carter. They
hated Carter.
Iranians hate Carter.
Iranians hated Carter, but like it wasn't vocal in the House. There was no flags. There was no nothing. They were just happy to be in America from Iran. And then with my stand-up, bro, it was just not goofy. It was observational. It was stories. It was life. Zero politics.
Right.
Nothing political. That's a great question. The politics I started when this is funny. When Trump beat Hillary Clinton. I remember the night, because I'm in messages with friends. They're following everything. They're all, the majority of them, except my brother, my cousins and stuff. Well, some of them are left liberals, which drives me crazy. But like couple of my friends that were like, "Oh, Hillary, yeah, goodbye, Trump." They just despise him because they were taught to despise him. They never thought of Trump ever until they were taught to hate him. Yeah. And then that night, Trump won. I'm celebrating. I won bets. I won money. And then they all turned. They all were angry and F you and fuck the bet. And I'm like, whoa.
Against you.
Against him. Yeah. Like what? Because they were furious that they lost. Sore losers. The left are horrible. And then I just couldn't help it. I had to slowly start incorporating some of the political stuff, not being, because, dude, again, this is the time 7 years ago. Oh my God, dude, time is flying. If you went up and you were pro-Trump, you weren't getting booked. Dude, think about it. If you wore that red hat, look at how unbelievably stupid and some Nazi shit was going on, the left, where they're like, you can't wear that. People were grabbing this hat, punching people in the face. Why? Because I don't think like you. I am the Nazi. No. You guys are being like fascists. I want to think on my own. Here's the guy since he was in the 80s on Letterman and everything. I love America. I love America. Make America. He's been saying, this isn't a new story. Right. This is Donald Trump's been saying this shit forever. So I started incorporating it. And then I won't forget, I started going Laugh Factory. Now it's like Persian night or whatever night. Yeah. And dude, I did a Trump joke. You should hear the audience was like not having it. So bro, there was an era where it was just Trump is orange. Yay. And I'm like, this is the hackiest. Yeah. Dude, we went through some hack years. Like the Ice Age. So we went through hack.
We're coming out of it slowly.
Yeah, because now they're doing impressions of Trump, like Shane Gillis, which is brilliant. Where they're like, to me, the Biden jokes. The Biden, they're hacked too. Yeah. He's old. Okay, bro. But there was a time where it was just like everybody thought that they were clever with their Trump, and it's like, bro, be creative. You guys are horrible. So I never ever really went too much there. Like the stand-up that I just did in Miami, I do a joke about, instead of a drug sniffing dog, I go, why not give that job to like a person that needs a job, and our economy, give it to a crackhead. Like, and I go, the only thing, it'd be funny if you were at the airport and you saw like a crackhead on a leash. I go like a Hunter Biden. And bro, I just said, by the way, that slipped out. And that moment that you taught me, the flow, people, that was the loudest applause. And I was like, oh, okay. I go, so you guys are voting for Trump, I'm assuming. It was such a weird, in the moment flow, applause break. I didn't realize in Miami there was that many Trump. It was outlandish. It was nuts. But So I never. My stand up isn't. Even though one of my friends was like, Vinny, get this political, your conservative comedies. I go, yeah, but they know who I am. I go, my comedy is just my life and my stories. If it comes up, I'll do the political in the moment type stuff, and I'm slowly like the DEI pilot stuff and all that type of stuff. That to me is the right jokes. I do that, but the Biden and the I'm not the Hunter. Biden and Trump stuff, to me, it's like easy jokes.
I think where you're going is where the future is. Like, we've already had we had years of hacky jokes. We've had years of Orange Man Trump. Yeah. We've had years of people not saying how they actually feel about what's going on, even though it's been in our faces. Yep. Right? So now when you start to speak and you start to tell jokes and you make light of it, you're not a conservative comedian.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You know what I mean? And you don't act like a conservative, none of that, but you're just speaking your mind and you're speaking what everyone's seeing. And so you're giving a voice to this massive amount of people who don't have what they feel is the gall or they're behind fear. They don't want to get caught at work, you know.
Oh.
And PBD himself and the whole show is doing that. And so that's what really attracted me to it was like, look, here's a format. It could be a sports format, literally the way it goes. It could be sports, it could be comedy, it could be anything, and it's all of that, and it's business.
Yeah, it's a crazy mix.
It's a crazy mix.
Yeah, it's like a one-stop shop.
It's like a one-stop shop.
Yeah,
it's incredible, man.
And how it came together. Like if you think about it, Al, I came here. It was Tom and Pat and Adam, and then just one day, Patrick's like, Vinny, talacha, like come in here. He was like, go sit. I go, where do you want me to sit? He goes, sit right there. And he was already busy. He's like, sit right there. And then this thing formed where it's like, think about it. If you don't know any of us, you don't know nothing about this podcast, and somebody said, Al, do me a favor, come sit down, watch this, and you turn it on. You're automatically going to know who Patrick, alpha, boss, CEO, company. You'll start learning. You know, he's the point guard. He's a Michael Jordan.
Right.
And then you know, Adam. You'll see like what, because people are like, why do you? You have to have somebody on the other side, the other voice, to hear what the other side is saying. That's why people are losing their minds about Chris Cuomo. And I keep telling people, I go, guys, if we don't start having conversations with exactly that type of person, we're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to move the needle at all. Yep. I want to hear them. I want to see them. I want to talk to them. If we bump heads, so be it. But that needle has to move, because now even that side is realizing and recognizing, look at what a shit show this other party is. We can get into I don't believe in, I personally do not believe in parties. I believe they're on the same team.
They are.
Period. Okay, good. I'm happy you think like that. Because they are. It's a fact. It's a uniparty. There's an illusion of choice. Oh, left or right. If you fell into that, you're already lost. But if you come on there and then, you know, you'll get something from Tom, and Tom is just a computer. Tom will spit you facts. He'll give you his opinion. He'll have a little twist. He has freaking humor, which is untapped. Like, he's a fun dude. The guy, he has a very good sense of humor. Dry, but hilarious. And trust me, I know I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
And then with me, you just get this, you know, no college, military, street guy that loves the country just as much as freaking Trump does. And I just don't care who I offend, because this is, by the way, this is my opinion. People go, hey, he thinks, no, this is what I think, just like how these people are saying it. And I go, I couldn't do this in Los Angeles. This mouth, this attitude in Los Angeles doesn't work, because agents, producers, all these freaking maniacs, they don't like this attitude.
It's got to change, though. See, look, I
You
mean,
think
at
it
the end
will?
of the
You
day,
think
money changes things, I believe. And the audiences are dying for this. I mean, okay, look at Joe Rogan, for example, right? The most popular podcast
in the world.
Big
time.
Right?
Of all time, yeah.
And if you listen to not just the topics and the people you bring in, but to his perspective,
I love him.
It's a uniparty.
Yeah,
and
it is.
It's the uniparty, and that's what it is. And it's things are finally coming to light. We're starting to wake up. They call it red pill. I just heard now it's getting red pill. I think
I've been hearing it for a while. How about this? I didn't want to think into the definition, because I'm like, don't pill me. I go, there's stupid and there's not stupid, and the other side is just stupid, because I'm pretty sure you've been paying attention.
Yeah.
For instance, when you see a Dr. Fauci go up in front of a House committee for lying, Wuhan lab, coronavirus, what's it called? Gain of function research.
Masks.
I have videos of him on my phone going, the mask doesn't work. It's little droplet. It might. And then he's like, put 3 of those bitches on. To hell with that guy. That guy is going to, God is going to meet that guy one day and be like, you're going to pay for what you go. I feel it in my heart.
Oh, yeah.
But think about this. Perfect point about the uniparty. This side of the aisle, they always say, my friends on the other side of the aisle. Yeah, they're friends. Don't get it twisted. They'll have Fauci in the middle. The left will be like, this guy, give him gold, give him a medal. They've given the guy Dr. Fauci. People were having his face on their lawns, on those lawn things. He was revered as the Mr. Science. The other side barks and yells, and Rand Paul's like, you're this and you're that. Does anything happen after that? I'm asking you, Jen, does anything happen to Dr. Fauci?
Of course not.
Zero, because they have to show you, they have to act the illusion. Hey, we love him. Hey, he's the devil. Nothing happens. Meanwhile, that scumbag, Dr. Fauci is a scumbag, has money out of the ass for the rest of his life. And he has Secret Service protection. I don't know if you guys have seen.
I didn't know that.
Bro, he has the guys with the Fauci. He is What? Why do you need? Exactly. Why does Dr. Fauci need government-paid, taxpayer-funded Secret Service? It's almost as if he did something for the government that they know that he's going to need protection because he did their dirty work. I'll let people think about what that piece of shit did. If you haven't read The Real Dr. Fauci, the book, you're going to hate him 1,000 times more with his handling with HIV and all that shit. He's a scumbag.
Do you think this has been going on
forever? You know how many presidencies he's been through? I think 7 different presidents he's been in the NIA. Bro, he's a fucking... When you hear Tony Fauci is a mob guy. Like, he sounds like a who the fuck? I want to check his credentials. Who told him he knows shit about anything? And then when you have Bill Gates, let me explain something to you. Bill Gates, I don't want to hear anything come out of the guy's mouth.
Ugh.
I don't want to hear one thing that come out of the guy's mouth that's wife said. You know why I left him? You know why the wife left him?
No.
She couldn't handle the relationship that he had with Epstein. End of story. Her words, not mine. She left him recently, a year ago, 2 years.
Bro, do you believe?
I'll
Alejandro, who helped set up the audio,
yeah,
him and I were talking about the fact that there is some sick stuff that goes on in certain circles, like things that would blow people's minds.
Yeah, you have no idea.
So
yes.
So this is something I'm still trying to get through. Like, do you think human beings have that level of darkness?
1,000%. Bro, we are evil. If you think about it, that's why people need God in their lives. Think about how disgusting human beings. Go back to history. Look what the Romans and all these people used to do just for fun. You know what they would do? Just for fun. This wasn't even a crime. They would take a burlap sack, and this is just one small example. Big burlap sack, they'd put a guy in it, and they'd throw him in the ocean, in the river. But before they threw him in, they'd put in there a snake, a dog, and a monkey. They'd tie it up and throw it in the... Oh, yeah! George Carlin did this bit, and I looked it up. It's real. So think about it. This thing, you're drowning, all right? What do you think the snake and the monkey and the dog are? Everybody's going crazy, biting, and at the end they'd open it. We are by nature disgusting, murderous. We have all this rage, and I never put anything past human beings. Look at what Mao killed. How many millions and millions of people? You know what? Yeah. Think about this. You know what he did once? A kid stole a handful of grain. They made the father, they grabbed the father, made the father bury his son alive. Boom, 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 put him in the ground and let him die in there. We are bad by nature, and that's why you have to have God in your life to see, because it could easily go, when you hear, I forgot, there was a documentary of this guy in Colorado, killed his wife, choked her, brought his 2 daughters, strangled them, and put them down in an oil bin, and he acted like that. You know why? Because he wanted to be with the other girl. That's the reason. So in here by nature, disgusting. You have to have some positivity and change your. We come from a long lineage of disgusting. Our DNA is not.
Well, there's a light and there's a dark for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think that something's gotten in the way of us really being able to see that still exists. A long time ago, it existed and everyone knew it.
Yeah.
Right? These days, it's not that way. These days, there's a facade. There's almost like a gaslighting around it. There's almost like all of this, like, oh, that's in the past.
Yeah. No, it's here, bro. It's here. No matter how advanced we are, I don't care how much shit we put on the moon. I don't care what Neuralink and 5G, 6G. At the end of the day, humans, they never cease to amaze me in that sense that they'll do evil shit. Mass murder, killing each other, having sex with little kids. By the way, the dark web, I don't know if anybody out there has ever, you have zero idea. Like, you walk around in this reality, you have no idea. I'm not telling people to go on there. The dark web is out there. There is children being raped, murdered, sold, drugs, bestiality. You have no idea. But once you open that curtain and you look, your brain, you can never go back. It's over. So if you want to stay innocent, stay away from it. But when people ask, you think it's bad? You see that, you're never coming back.
And you've seen it.
I've seen it.
Look, this is, first of all, I want to thank you for bringing all this out into the light. And you do this in a big way.
Yeah.
On this show, I've rarely talked about my personal feelings around politics, but at this point, where we are today,
I think you have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
If you don't, I think that is the death nail that everyone has fallen into, is that they just want to keep things copacetic. Don't tell anyone how you feel. Don't shake up the.
Yeah.
No. At this point, you have to have your voice heard, because the other side, their voice is extremely not only loud, it's filtered through whatever lens they want to filter it through.
Yep. I agree.
Right?
Yep.
So more of these conversations. And what are we talking about? We're talking about love. We're talking about kindness. We're talking about taking care of each other. We're talking about religion in the most purest form. And for that to be silenced, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
It really doesn't.
It doesn't. As you're saying, I'm like, it doesn't.
But it is.
Yep.
It is. And we've somehow come into a time, and you know, we're the same age. We came through a time where the birth of hip hop. We came of a time where the NBA, where it wasn't, when we first came up in the early 90s and started seeing, you know, the NBA players to where it is today, to NFL, to football, to music, to entertainment. We've seen so much evolve.
Yep.
And now here we are in this time where the things that were just kind of the foundation layer of back then, like religion and all, it's just gone. And now we have trans story time for our kids.
Unbelievable.
Right? Unbelievable.
Yep.
We have books for kids that teach kids how to give blowjobs.
Yep.
I mean, look, I never considered myself a conservative ever. Like I just never considered myself that ever. Right? You can't help but to think, man, where's the common sense, dude? It's
gone.
Gone. And it's intentional.
Of course
it's
it is.
intentional.
This is all by design.
It's all by design.
Yeah.
They want you to think this is called being progressive. It's like we're moving into the new age.
Yeah.
Right?
Boys are girls.
Yeah.
And girls are boys.
That's
not
what it is.
No, it's not.
That's not what it is, because history has told us that societies have gone through these machinations before.
Yeah.
They've turned into chaos.
And what happens?
Things burn. Things go downhill, right?
Rome.
Exactly. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen for our society. I don't want that to happen for future generations here.
So let me ask you a question now. Do you think what has to change? Besides the people, and I get it, people like me and you, people like Pat, which we're out there.
Yeah.
We're growing.
Yeah.
What has to be the flame to spark it? Because think about Brazil and all these places, bro. When people get fucking pissed, they go to the streets. Millions of people are in the streets because they go, yo, we're not moving till this changes. This place, you think you could get 1 million people to go stand in this? Not the 1,000,000-man march shit. You think you could get, I'm laughing just thinking about it, 5 million Americans to come together in solidarity and be like, guys, you know what? Enough is enough. No. Like gas. When gas keeps going up, if every American, did you know this, Al? If every American, everyone that drives a car on Monday morning does not get gas. Nobody, don't get gas. Don't do it. They'd have to drop the gas price to 20 cents, 30 cents. But guess what? You're going to have the people that are like, but I got to go to work.
So right.
I got to go do this. We can't
divide and conquer, man.
It's the most simplest thing that people don't get. Whenever I see a white person, a black person, or somebody's being racist, I go, guys, you are doing exactly what they want. You guys have race doesn't mean shit. Sex doesn't. We're all the same shit.
100%.
I get the guy and the girl thing. God made us, a man and woman, different, but we are the same. Close your eyes. If you touch another human being, who gives a shit about their color? If that's what you're hung up on, they won. They won if you're on some, I don't talk to poor people. I don't talk to gay people. It's like, shut the hell up. They're winning. When you talk like that, they've won. Yeah. They've ended. The game is over with you.
Do you know what you asked me a question, and first of all, you're absolutely right. The first thing I learned in one of the first things I learned was that behind the tiny little bit of skin we have 99.999% of us, we're all the same.
Exactly.
We're totally the same.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
It's like this
It's true. It's a fact.
little tiny little
Yeah.
pigment,
Yeah.
and that's the entire focus
Yeah.
of the left-leaning media.
Big time.
And why is that? It's because of what you said. Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
When you have division,
Yeah.
then you can become the ruler because there
Exactly.
is no unified front to oppose you.
Exactly.
And they know that. It's what you said, man. It's freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
It's something that they've put into place for a long time.
Oh, it's amazing.
And now here it is.
It's in full. It's out in
full
full
force.
force. And whenever they want to spark something, race war or this, like they wait for moments like that. I watched the show House of Cards. Have you ever seen it?
Of course, I was on it.
You swear to God.
Yeah, I was on a couple shows.
You swear to God.
Yeah, 5 belows though, meaning 5 lines or below.
Who gives a shit? Which ones? I gotta talk to you, guy. Dude. I just watched another. I've watched that show.
I played at FBI. I when the terrorist got in. Remember the mother of the terrorist got interrogated
Yeah.
in the FBI office.
Yes.
I was like FBI agent number
When
1.
the mom's getting interrogated by don't tell me. Okay. When her son, who was the terror that spits on the glass.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait, but I love this.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, where was
But
my?
dude, don't look. I'm in.
I
and
don't
out,
give a
bro.
shit.
I'm
You're in it.
and out,
I know the
bro.
guy that's one of my favorite shows, and it shows how everything
Yeah.
that's happening, bro.
Yeah.
They planned it
It's
out.
in the script. It's in the script.
It's in the script.
I'm gonna tell you some stuff before we end because I know you got you got dinner.
I got like 10 more minutes. Well,
Yeah.
Go.
You asked me, how do we move beyond this? I think what you said earlier about this joy that you have, this like childish.
I've had
joy.
it. I'm not joking. I've had it twice in here where I got really like it's.
I could
it's,
tell.
It's in a
I
year
could-
back. It's coming back.
I can see it.
Yeah.
So what I think is somehow being able to give, because human beings, man, we're all the same, like you said, right?
Yeah.
And I think all of this is being controlled by fear. I think the media, the left, and all of it, it's fear. When they talk about Trump, they talk about the boogeyman. They talk about fear. They talk about all of this stuff like, don't look over here, look over here. That's scary.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing to fear.
Yeah.
Right? So that feeling that you get, like, I think it's the hardest thing is, people drink a hell of a lot. People distract themselves a hell of a lot. Pot is everywhere. Smoke more weed. Smoke
Everybody's
more weed.
numb.
Smoke more weed. Smoke more weed.
Go ahead.
No. But now it's dispensaries are everywhere. You walk around New York, weed. Look, I'm not the guy who's going to be against weed. I smoked weed a long fucking time. I used to roll blunts like it was like nothing when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
Now though, I'm looking at it from the other side. I'm thinking, there's a layer that's starting to come over everyone. There's alcohol, weed, whatever. There's just a fear underneath it. But when you say, man, I just feel this joy. When you're feeling that sort of joy, you can't look at like listen to divisive stuff. You can't do it,
weird.
man. It's weird.
It's very weird because it's a whole different lens that you're looking at. And I tell people, because I know what people like. I'm not talking shit about the people that drink or the people that smoke weed. You do you. Where I became in my life and where you
Because
are.
that's both of us. We've done it before.
Dude, I've lived. That's why I tell people, I'm like, when people are like, I don't want to drink in front of you, I go, no, do it, guys. I have enough stories, and I should be dead. Okay,
Yeah.
I should be dead. 2 of my friends died of fentanyl. They were at a house party. They did a bump of coke. Dead with
Holy
one guy's girlfriend. Yeah, it was in TMZ. It was
Wow.
So I'm on borrowed time. I should have been at that party, and I probably would have done a bump. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Yeah.
But I think the besides the distraction, because dude, I look at besides the division, race, sex, equality, money, blah blah. Then there's all that stuff, and then there's distraction. So it's division, distraction. How many sports? Why do you think ESPN and all these sports people are revered? Like when you watch the beginning of an NBA game, this guy's just walking into the locker room, and it's like a spectacle.
Yeah.
By the way, why are these people wearing suits? Like the reporters, it's like back in the Roman days, back in like when Caesar, when the people were getting restless and asking too many questions. Guess what would happen?
Distract.
3 months. Games in the arena. It was a fucking circus. It was like, and that's what sports is.
Totally.
And think about how many. By the way, I don't know if somebody could do this. Break down how many sports leagues, intramural break. It's people from New York don't talk to people from Boston. Why? Yankee.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck you. It's another level of
Divisive.
device. People from Michigan don't fuck with people from Michigan State.
I know.
What are you doing? You're killing your people. Beat the shit in California. A guy that was playing on San Francisco Giants, he got his ass. He was put in a coma. These Dodger fans beat his ass in front of his son, put him in a coma. What do we? So it's divisive. It's distraction. It's anything to stop us to go, hey, wait a minute. You, the top, you guys are doing this, this, and this. But Al, this is how they have the system set up. That's why I think at the end of the day, it's going to have to be God's intervention. When God wants to come and say, all right, it's over, whatever. Think of it as a pyramid, Al. The top elites are up here. Let's call it the top 5%, whatever they are. The really, really rich, the powerful, the people that if shit hits the fan, the Zuckerbergs, those demons here. Then there's us all the way at the bottom, the people that are struggling and fighting, and me and you. And guess what's in the middle? The police state, cops, FBI, military. You can't get to them. We can't touch them.
But we're bigger.
That's
we
the fucking
drive
problem.
everything. We drive
That's the problem
everything.
because the distraction and the divisiveness. When people wake up, like that's why, bro, if they thought like us, this would be a whole different game. Yeah. This game would be completely different because we would make actions to say we're not
I'll tell you
voting.
what, I think our Gen Xers, I especially recently, I put a lot of stake in generations. I feel like generations come up together. They see the same things.
Yeah.
People of the same age come from the same sort of cloth in a way because they've seen things like transpire.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel
and
you.
I have a lot of faith that us Gen Xers, which is, by the way, we're like in the middle where we were like squeezed out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
The baby boomers, there was a shit ton of them.
Yeah.
They owned everything. Then suddenly we came out.
Yeah.
And what do? We invented hip hop. We invented like a new way of doing things, like everything, like media. We changed it all.
Sick. That
and then
era was
and then we
amazing.
were gone. Then the millennial crybabies came in.
Yeah, weird.
But our generation, I feel, and that includes, I think Elon Musk he might be a little bit old, but I think he's in with us.
I think it might be like 50. I'm gonna check. Keep
Whatever.
Keep going.
But I'm saying, I think our generation is the one. We made a fucking huge change in the in the 90s when we came up. We changed the way culture looked at things, right? We changed the perspective of weed. We changed all that. I think it's up to us to say, whoa. It's gone too fucking far. In a way, I think our generation caused some of this, man. Like we really rebelled against what was going on back then because we're like, we're going to do it our way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
But now we got the early on, like sort of the nuclear family, where we were at. We got the 60s and 70s and like the wholesomeness, right?
Yeah.
The TV was kind of more wholesome than it was. And now we're seeing, holy shit, that's all the stuff that was like our anchor is gone now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
So it's up to us, I think, to bring it back. So like your voice, that's why I'm here. Like I hear your voice on PBD. I'm thinking, man, this is my guy. Like this is somebody I'd be hanging with. You know, when we were coming up, you know, they would have thought I was Italian. You're Italian.
100%.
We're sneaky Iranians. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's our voice, I feel, that is going to bring that up there because I don't think the millennials can do it, man. I think they got too caught up in
too spoiled, too pampered,
too fat, pampered. Didn't have the shit we had to deal with, right?
And no discipline, and I think that's
distraction from phones and from all that. We didn't have that, dude, when we were coming up.
So Elon's 52, so he's right around there.
See?
But I think too, before we wrap up, because I gotta run.
Yeah.
But I think that the generations after ours, why everybody became soft and that everything started falling apart, the lack of discipline from the parents. Disciplining your kids became taboo because normally telling the kid, don't touch this, you know, hey, you'd get okay? But if that didn't happen, as generations went on after ours, that became, don't touch it, don't touch it. Then he went, okay, wait a minute, I'm not getting spanked, I'm not getting disciplined. You know what? Let me see how far. Mom, I'm a woman. Okay, honey. Live your truth.
Too busy.
Take your eye. I'm too busy on I'm cheating on your dad. Like, go fuck yourself. Okay, no discipline, no. I'm not saying beating. I'm saying a little spanking, a little. Hey, it's just everybody got distracted. Everybody, and now we are where we are. But I do feel in closing. And first of all, thank you, Stu. This is. I got to sat here for 4 hours, and I hope
you're awesome.
No, you're more awesome. And I just feel you know, we have an opportunity. And I think it's not even an opportunity. It's what's the obligation to step up. That's why I said when you were saying I don't really talk. I think we can't be on the sideline. You have to be 100% fighting and involved because this isn't a sideline game. These people, the other side, all the sides, They are in it to win it and to destroy us, and we have to fight. You have to open up your mouth, because what if, when people go, you're wasting your time, ignorance is bliss. No, ignorance is ignorance. Call it what it is. What if from the words that come out of your mouth, Al, you say something that resonates with somebody that's on the other side, and one day this person has to make a decision at some juncture in their life that's going to either save humanity or ruin it in some aspect, not in the grand scheme, end of the world. And because of what came out of your mouth, they go, I'm going to go the other way. I'm not going to be the negative, evil piece of shit that I kind of want to be. But, this guy put that love in me, and then they don't do it. I think personally it's worth the fight.
I agree, bro.
That's it, bro.
Thank you for fighting the
dude,
fight,
Dude, what
bro.
do you mean? And dude, you too, man. Thank you for having. I think again, more conversation like this have to happen, Al. More spreading, more having conversation. Don't be scared. Not you. I'm saying the average person. Have these conversations. Talk with people that you don't agree with, like the Cuomo. Sit down and talk to them. What makes you tick? What makes you think like that? I don't want to think like that. Have a dialogue. Oh, this is why you think like that. Well, what about this side? You have to have that conversation. Have the sparks fly, and then let's be cool after. You don't have to fucking hate. Like, I don't hate anybody in my life right now. I dislike somebody because career-wise they kind of F me over, but I don't have that hate anymore. That just
poison.
Exactly, from alcohol, from all that shit. Now I have to text the person. I'm like, bro, I love you. What are we doing? Get it all out of your system, and you live a better life.
I love it. Thank you, brother.
Dude, thank you, man.
Amazing.
Are you gonna say? Are we signing off? How are you gonna do it?
Well, first of all, this is the first time that I've expressed my political views, so I want to thank you for that.
Oh, beautiful! I'm happy that I was here for it.
And I'm telling you, you're in a platform right now, which I think, as I said, is the future of what media is, which is lots of voices speaking their mind, speaking about kindness, speaking in religion in a way that's fundamental.
Yeah,
and it's funny, man. It's entertaining.
Yeah,
dude.
bro.
And at the end of the day, man, we want to laugh, bro. We want to be entertained. All of us want to laugh and feel good. And that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you guys, it's knowledge, it's goodness, and it's coming from Iranians.
You did. I love it. People from, by the way, from Iran.
From Iran.
By the way, but guess what?
Or Iran.
From
How
Iran.
far?
Yeah. I just want, because I have to go, but I just want to tell everybody right now. And this is coming from my mom.
Yeah.
Don't go to Hollywood, because there's drugs and there's gays.
And lots of gays.
She said that, and I was like, yeah, right. I landed. I go, holy
Give me
shit.
a bump and let me see some cock.
Cocaine and cock. But Al, thank you so much, bro.
Thank you,
I love you to death.
Amazing,
I appreciate it.
dude. Yeah,
and
get going.
All right, guys. Peace and love. We'll see you guys.
Peace and love. Peace and love.